Welcome to Mock the Mock, where I take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock and give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. I got a great one for you today. I got a special one because we're going to be traveling over to the YouTube, taking a look at friend of the channel, Garrett Football Analysis, and his mock draft. He just released this sucker yesterday. I went ahead, I watched it. That way I don't butcher his opinions too much as I give my own. So let's go ahead, get into this sucker. As pick one, we already know Las Vegas Raiders. They're probably going with Fernando Mendoza. Makes no sense to go anywhere else. Go ahead, get your franchise quarterback in a class that has really only one. I would say I don't want to call it for sure, but one prospect, one quarterback that I'd argue is top 10 worthy, which basically means first overall pick. All right. So with the Jets, their second pick, their first pick, the second overall pick, he's going to have them going with Arvell Reese, linebacker, edge, out of Ohio State. For a lot of people, he's the consensus number one non-quarterback prospect in this class. Actually, Garrett has much said so, talking about that he's kind of in the mold of this like Micah Parsons, Abdul Carter. I always reference Arvell Reese is kind of in that transition going from off-ball linebacker to edge. He played both this year, and Abdul Carter was the same way in not his final year at Penn State, but the year before that, before he actually played a full season where he was an actual pass rusher edge player. Arvell Reese, yeah, he hasn't done that yet. He's going to end up doing that in the NFL. So, again, a lot of projection goes into Arvell Reese, but I get it. If you could see the vision, then I could see why people have him as the top non-quarterback prospect. I'm not one of those guys because, I'm a coward. But I get it. Arizona Cardinals, he'll have them going with Francis Maui-Noah, offensive tackle out of Miami. This is another popular pick in a lot of people's mocks. Francis Maui-Noah, just because of the questions of will he be able to stick out at tackle, or is he going to have to come into guard because of the lack of ideal arm length, which, hey, it's going to be a discussion after what we just saw with Will Campbell in the big game against the Seahawks. So I don't know if the tackles will... I think tackles, or at least one of the tackles will go top 10. I just don't know if it'll be here at 3. Because if I'm the Cardinals, I just kind of want to take the best player. That could be David Bailey. That could be Ruben Bain. But I do like Francis Maui-Noah quite a bit. And if you're the Cardinals, you kind of have open spots, open availabilities at right tackle and right guard. So even if he doesn't pan out as a tackle, you could always kick him into that guard spot. And you're keeping him on the right side, which is where he played all 3 years at Miami. Tennessee Titans. He has them getting, I'm trying to remember, Ruben Bain, edge out of Miami. And, hey, Robert Saleh. I imagine we're going to see a potentially defensive-heavy draft. How he's bringing up Saleh, Gus Bradley, those are guys that don't like to blitz, especially Gus Bradley. He is notorious for being consistently in the bottom 3 when it comes to blitz rate. He likes to win with his front 4, and Saleh is very similar in that manner where he wants to win with stunts and such. If you're going to do that, your front 4 has to be... That's what leads me to believe that they go edge with this pick. So no disagreement here from me. But let's keep going. We got the New York Giants. I believe he goes with Carnell Tate, the wide receiver at Ohio State. Yep, Carnell Tate. Garrett kind of alluded to that Carnell Tate's probably his wide receiver 1. I'm actually going to release my wide receiver rankings tomorrow. Come see where Carnell Tate ends up. I will say, my rankings, I followed my heart a little bit more with this set of rankings, so I'm very excited to release them. But The idea of the Giants using this pick to help out their franchise quarterback, because you could argue this pick could be Francis Maui Noah, get him to play right tackle. You help out Jackson Dart, but also Wan'Dale Robinson's a free agent. Getting someone next to Malik who's coming off the ACL seems like the right call. It just does. Carnell Tate's great. He might not have like high-end speed or anything, but 6'3", 192, 193. He's got enough of that frame where he can add more mass if he so desires. He's a very slick route runner where he can win at all three levels of the field. He expanded upon that this year by winning deep a lot. He's got some of the most sure hands in this class. He just feels like such a safe pick. And that was kind of actually what Garrett, football analysis brought up at the beginning of the video, where it's like, hey, we're in a class where it might be better to chase those high floor players, guys you just know are going to be good players in the NFL, even if their ceiling might not be where you want it to be. I would argue Carnell Tate is kind of the antithesis of what Garrett was getting at. Cleveland Browns. He has them going. I don't think it was Fano. I can't remember now. Was it Makai Lemon? It was Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC. I love Makai Lemon. I get it. 5'11", 5'10", 190, 195. Kind of modest size, but not terrible size at that. 5'11", 195 is kind of what you're hoping for. Usually, hey, your top receivers are going to be that or bigger. So I'm kind of hoping that for Makai Lemon. Even if he comes in a little on the lighter, shorter end of the spectrum, it's not like he's got elite speed, but he is twitched up. He is a nuanced route runner. He knows how to get open, and better yet, he is a dog at the catch point. I love Makai Lemon. He's kind of a my guy in this class. Interesting that the Browns, you opt to go with the wide receiver and kind of see what falls to you at offensive line. Or at least that's what I assumed at this juncture where Garrett would go. So, yeah, no problem here. I love Makai Lemon. Let's keep watching. I believe we got David Bailey going to the Washington Commanders. And there it is. They've invested some draft picks, some money when you consider Lattimore, but they've invested in that secondary. You might be like, well, the secondary wasn't great last year. Yes, but at the same time, the pass rush was horrible. What helps coverage? Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. So grabbing David Bailey makes 100% sense. It kind of makes things, I think, a little tougher for teams like the Bengals and the Chiefs as their picks are coming up. But New Orleans Saints, I kind of figure, hey, this is just kind of your go-to, for most people, Jeremiah Love spot. But he actually takes the next wide receiver off the board in Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State. I'm a big fan of Jordan Tyson. I love Jordan Tyson. It's just he's kind of this glass cannon. His medicals need to check out, but you watch the tape and he's a player that's easy to love. He cleaned up the focus drops this year, which was huge because we've seen the ball skills with him. He could go up and get it. It's just in 2024 he had a lot of focus frustrated drops. Cleaned that up this past year, but then also got the hamstring injury. Again, keep in mind, man, this dude, I think he broke his leg at Colorado, or was it just an ACL? I say just an ACL tear. Let's see. I just put knee injury. I'm assuming it's an ACL, but I'm not sure. Yeah, the broken collarbone in the college football playoff last year. Couldn't play against Texas. And then this year he was kind of hampered by a hamstring. So medicals will be pretty important. I don't think we will be savvy to that, though. So if he ends up being a faller, I mean, we could kind of assume the medicals didn't come back great. We love the NFL draft, and now my draft guide is available for purchase. It comes with over 500 player backgrounds and close to 300 player evals. It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So when I add a new eval or I change my rankings, you're going to be the first to know. It's going to have all the pro day and combine numbers along with analytics. And it's a Google spreadsheet for right now. So you have to include your email with the purchase, but we will be switching over to a website at the end of the year. And if you get it now, it's going to be cheaper now than it will be later. It's a great way to support the channel. And as always, much appreciated, much obliged. Pick 9, Kansas City Chiefs go with Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. If he makes it to the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs pull the trigger. They have more good parts to their offensive line than bad. Kingsley Sumatea settled in at left guard really well. You're hoping to get a healthy Josh Simmons. They have Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. You really just look at Jawan Taylor, who probably is a cut candidate at this point. And they will get Jalen Moore back healthy. So, yeah, they kind of have the offensive line that can facilitate a top-tier running back. How are you going to help Patrick Mahomes? You get him a top-tier running back. I get that. I get that some people will be like, well, the defensive line, to which it's like the top 3 edge rushers off the board. Well, Travis Kelce might retire. It's a good tight end free agent class. It's a good running back free agent class. They could go and get parts out in free agency, but they do need to figure out their cap situation, which they probably will, but they could go get parts out in free agency. That way you don't have to force this pick to be whatever, you know? It's kind of where my head's at with it. I kind of forget what he does with the Bengals here. Here, let's see. Oh, Caleb Downs is still on the board. I forgot Caleb Downs is still on the board. Yeah, duh, it's Caleb Downs. Actually, the Chiefs, they could go with Caleb Downs as well. Brian Cook, a free agent. But the Bengals, kind of not a great spot for the Bengals. You kind of want to maybe be up a spot or two just because I've done mocks where Caleb Downs off the board, top 3 pass rushers off the board. You go with whoever you have as DT1 in this class, or do you maybe take a corner, which I feel like they're kind of okay at corner, that it could be a position they address later. Later on in the draft. But you look at the defensive line and it's just a hot mess, man. But Caleb Downs, kind of a good consolation prize if you can't get one of those top tier pass rushers in this class. My Miami Dolphins, and I actually really like the point Garrett made here. Because he's basically going corner. He talks about Jermon McCoy and Mansour Delane and how this will be our GMs. Hey, this is first go at it for the Dolphins. Same with Halfley. This is going to be the first pick to your front office, your regime. Do you roll the dice on Jermon McCoy and his great 2024 tape coming off the ACL? Probably not. You really don't want to be too risky with your first pick because you really want it to hit. Mansour Delane, he's not coming off injury or anything like that. If anything, he's just gotten better. He played in a zone-heavy system in Virginia Tech where he played in the slot, outside, in the box. He goes to LSU where he's playing a bit more press, a bit more man, and he has a huge year. Mansour Delane is phenomenal. He might not have. I'm curious what his length will be. I think he's going to be around that 30-inch mark. Remember, sub 30-inch arms. You start to think about a player as a slot. Again, isn't the end all be all, but I'm just saying it's where your head goes. Arm length, it's a thing. Dallas Cowboys. I want to say this is Sonny Styles, but I don't think did he go with Sonny Styles? It has to be Sonny Styles, right? It was Sonny Styles. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of one of the easiest mock places for Sonny Styles is pick 12. Garrett talks about how he loves himself some Sonny Styles, that he's on par to like a Jihad Campbell, which Garrett really loved Campbell last season. I'm more in the Sonny Styles breadbasket, but not like I hated Jihad Campbell. I had him around like, I think player 20 or 21 on my big board. Garrett talked about him like he was a top 5 player for him, which, I mean, I guess isn't all that shocking, because I think a large portion of analysts, people who cover the draft, have been moving away from positional value, meaning a lot on their big boards. I'm not. I feel like I should be able to look at my big board and have it take into consideration positional value and be like, okay, so if this guy's a quarterback, I'm going to take him first because it's a much more valuable position. He's going to be higher up my big board because of that. How much higher? We'll find out. But I don't think I'd ever have a linebacker in my top 5 when it comes to a big board. We got the LA Rams. He goes with Jermon McCoy here. Corner out of Tennessee. They have 2 first-round picks. You can take a shot on someone coming off the ACL. You could argue Jermon McCoy is the best player in this draft class. The Rams are going to have a bit of an exodus when it comes to their cornerback room. A lot of those guys are free agents. Of course, they can bring a few back. We're just going to have to wait and see. But right now, that looks like the biggest need for the LA Rams. We got the Baltimore Ravens. I want to say this was Vega Iwani, but I'm not positive. No, it was Peter Woods. That's right, because he brings up Justin, or was it Nadami Matabike, his neck injury, how it could potentially be career threatening. They brought back, they extended Travis Jones, which they should have anyway, but they also brought back John Jenkins, which now it's like a sign of, okay, maybe they do go in with DT here. Again, we'll see what they do in free agency, but it's not like the defensive interior free agent class is all that. It's not. So Peter Woods, people are falling out of love with Peter Woods. I don't know why. Is it because of the down year Clemson had? Because you can watch the tape and you still see Peter Woods get after it. He wreaks all kinds of havoc in the backfield. He might not have desirable length, which I think that's a big reason why you don't see him finish some plays. I remember in my summer scouting, I mentioned, man, it feels like there's some missed tackles on film, but no one missed tackle is the same. It's just weird. It's a variety of like, you miss tackles in a lot of different ways. I think it was cleaner this year for him. I mean, I could pull up the missed tackle rate real quick for Peter Woods, as it was 18.2%. It was actually a lot better than it was in 2024. Felt like in 2024 that the missed tackles were just rampant and apparent. But this is a pick that makes a lot of sense for the Baltimore Ravens. Tampa Bay Buccaneers go with Cassius Howell, edge out of Texas A&M. I love Cassius Howell. I don't want people to get the wrong impression, but I'm also a guy that doesn't bet on the exception a lot of times. For me, Cassius Howell having potentially sub 31-inch arms, it's kind of a problem. I mean, being sub 33 can be a problem as well, but you're sub 32? You may be sub 31? I saw length be a problem for him. I saw him take on Markel Bell in the playoff. I saw him in the season finale against Trevor Gooseby get manhandled. I'm hesitant, despite really loving this player. I love how he gets after it and how successful he is at that. I'd rather him at the back end, but everyone and their mom keeps having him projected in the top half of the first round. Top 20 at the very least. I don't know if I can get behind that. That's, again, I'm not a dude that when I'm drafting, I don't bet on the exception, especially with these early picks, unless it's like, oh no, like you are very much, even though you may be the exception, I think that you have a high likelihood of hitting that just because your body of work is that exceptional. So we'll see. The New York Jets, fun fact, this won't even be their last pick in this mock. They go with, I believe this is Caleb Banks. There we go. Caleb Banks, defensive tackle out of Florida, had a very good Senior Bowl. I still got questions about how he sustains in the run game, but if you're going to have him just kind of be a disruptor, a penetrator in the run game, then I think it'll be fine. But asking him to be disciplined and eat space and set an anchor, I think you're asking a bit much. But what he can do as a pass rusher is, golly, it's juicy. Jawan Briggs was kind of their guy last year. Harrison Phillips, I believe. They trade away Quinnen Williams, so I think them going here does make quite a bit of sense. Okay, before we get to pick 17, what's crackalackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So that's football analysis up there. Say hi to him, football. He's not going to because I have him on pause. But go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if, and not only if, but I know you will. But when you enjoy the content, leave that thumbs up. And even if you don't, leave it up anyway, and then let me know why in the comment section below. We have that nice, beautiful, intimate football discourse down there. So tell me why you hate it. Pick 17, I want to say this is offensive line. Because I know Garrett does go in deep. This is Spencer Fano. Is it Fano or Fano? Golly, Connor Rogers was talking about how he always messes this up. And now I'm super self-conscious. They go with Spencer, right tackle, out of Utah. You can Penny Sewell, you could just kick left to the left tackle. He played a little left tackle in the league when Decker got hurt. So yeah, no, they certainly can do this easy breezy. You find out if Fano is a tackle real quick. If he ends up being a guard, I think that's fine too. They've been wanting to move Tate Ratledge into center. At least they've explored that option. They still got Christian Mahogany. So yeah, they can figure it out, man. They can figure it out. Fano's just too good at this juncture. So this is Garrett's team, Minnesota Vikings. He ends up having them snag. Oh, that's right, Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I'm not this high on him. I like him. Top 40 guy to me. I'm not this high on him. Then again, it's not a premium position. So that's probably why. I'm sorry. I'm a little sleut when it comes to positions of value. I cannot deny. Ha 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 ha. I watched my Dolphins continue to goof it and not take positions of value. And look at where we're at now. Oh my gosh. We're so bad. That's not 100% true, but there are many reasons why the Dolphins are so bad. I get this from, like, okay, you let Cameron Bynum walk last year. Harrison Smith is at the end of the road. So what are you left with? You got Metellus, you got Theo Jackson. It's his name, right? Theo Jackson, former Duke guy. But yeah, I mean, dude, Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Oh, Garrett brings up 11 forced fumbles. Heck yeah, I think he had the pick 6 this year as well. Dude's a baller. He's a playmaker. He's a game changer. Brian Flores loves those guys. He just loves them. We got the Carolina Panthers. They're going to be going with CJ Allen, linebacker out of Georgia. When you have Christian Roseboom started, your linebacker position is in shambles, if that's the case. Allen, really solid year this past year. I thought he expanded on just being good in coverage, which was kind of an area I wanted to see him improve at, and he did that. Boxes checked. If you're the Panthers, I think Kenyon Sadiq could make sense at this pick. Garrett brings up, do you really want to draft a wide receiver for the third year in a row? Offensive tackle could be on the board here too. Could be in the cards just because of Ike Ekwonu and the patellar tendon. You would love to go edge because the pass rush was non-existent last year. One of the worst pressure rates in all of the NFL. So there's a spectrum of things that the Panthers can do, but there's not a lot of things I like for them at 19. I feel like I'd like to see him move up and get aggressive. We got the Dallas Cowboys going with Keldrick Folk, edge out of Auburn. People are poo-pooing Keldrick Folk, and I just feel like they don't watch his tape. Like, I get that his pressure rate, his pass rush win rate wasn't great, but I'm not going to pretend like it's god awful and the tape is just terrible. It's not. I think he has more wins than people think, and how he's winning with just being, hey, I'm long, I'm physical, I'm strong, I'm quicker than you would expect at what, 6'6", 285. I'm very curious to see how he measures out at the combine, but I think he'd be a great fit. If they're looking for that hand in the dirt, can be stout against the run, then yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And you roll the dice because, hey, at the end of the day, we're projecting what these guys are going to be in the NFL. If you like folks' projection, believe in your coaching staff. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers. Spoiler alert. I'm pretty confident it's Ty Simpson. It is, in fact, Ty Simpson. Garrett brings up, he could sit under the tutelage of Aaron Rodgers for a year. Ideally, in this situation, they bring back Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has never been one to mentor, but I don't know. Maybe that changes knowing that he's at the end of the line. Ty Simpson wouldn't have to start right away. I think Ty Simpson is a better quarterback prospect than Kenny Pickett was. But I think there's just too much there to where it's like, yeah, this feels like the Kenny Pickett pick all over again. Let's just figure out something short-term at quarterback next year, and then we'll try to hop on the quarterback train in 2027, which is seemingly a better class, but you don't quite know until it gets here. A lot of people thought the 2026 class was going to be vastly better than the 2025, and they kind of feel comparable. They kind of do. Chargers. They're going to go. I believe this is the Vega pick. Yep. Vega. Ioane. Out of Penn State. The guard. This is probably one of the other most mocked draft spots. Hand in glove fit. Not much more to say here. We're going to see Kenyon Sadiq go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Another popular mock spot. All like their top 3 tight ends are free agents. Kenyon Sadiq has to go somewhere in the first round. Where that may be. I'm trying to figure out potential sleeper areas that Sadiq could end up going. Like, I've pegged the Panthers as a potential spot, but like something different than your usual, like, I don't know, Broncos, Eagles, Bucks, Chiefs. I mean, that's the thing. You can start to consider Kenny Sadiq as early as pick 9. Here we are, him coming off the board at pick 23. That's just kind of what this class is right now. And then for the Cleveland Browns, they're going to be going with Caleb Lomu, tackle out of Utah. With their first pick, they grabbed Mekhi Lemon, so they were still able to get a good tackle. Because think about this. Flip it vice versa. You take Spencer Fano and you get Denzel Boston here. What would you rather, Denzel Boston and Fano or Caleb Lomu and Mekhi Lemon? I think you could argue those are pretty comparable. I just don't see anyone disagreeing with, regardless of what position they should attack first, that their 2 first-round picks should be a wide receiver and an offensive lineman. That's kind of where everyone's in agreement. So we have a trade here. The Chicago Bears move back. The San Francisco Niners move up to get ahead of the Buffalo Bills. Why would they do that? Probably for wide receiver. Let's see the wide receiver that they take. It's KC Concepcion or KC Recepcion. I like this pick. He feels like a Niner. He just does. The type of receiver that the Niners like. Brandon Ayuk is going to be on the outs. Jawan Jennings is a free agent. Ricky Pearsall has dealt with injury concerns. So I think a pass catcher makes 100% sense. There we go. I think the likelihood is there. People bring up, they don't really draft tackles in the first round or offensive line in general. And it's like, okay, sure, but trends are trends until they're broken. This could be a year where that trend gets broken, but I could see a world where, hey, they go with a guy like KC. Buffalo Bills, I want to say this was a pass rusher. I can't remember who, though. Let's see. It ends up being TJ Parker, edge out of Clemson. I think he probably goes a little higher than this, but if he makes it to this pick, pairing him up with Gregory Rousseau, mama freaking mia. I love it. Next on the clock here, 27 is going to be, we got a couple of picks. We can cover a couple of picks. 27 was the Bears. They traded down. They get Christian Miller. I like that Christian Miller is kind of like DT3 off his board. I'm a big fan of Christian Miller. He didn't quite have the Walter Nolan year I was kind of hoping, but I look at his body type and his ability, and it does give me Walter Nolan vibes. So the Bears grab him right here at 27. Caden Proctor ends up going to the Texans, whether he's a guard or a tackle. You bring that in, you figure it out. Is he going to be our right tackle or is he going to be one of our guard spots? It's going to end up being the question. And then basically Titus Howard is just going to do what he's told. So that could be either guard or that could be tackle. Pick 29. This is the Rams pick. I like what Garrett did here. So he's good, and he really explained it. He goes with Avion Terrell, corner out of Clemson. So the Rams would be double dipping at corner. You get Jermon McCoy, you get Avion Terrell. Some people would be like, that's not realistic. That doesn't make sense. All their corners are like free agents. We saw a team, hey, let's get the Rams' hopes up here. We saw a team double dip. It wasn't necessarily with 2 first-round picks, but we seen a team double dip at corner and immediately solving that problem. Think back to the Eagles, who took Quinion Mitchell. And then in early round 2, they get Cooper DeJean. And how much that transformed that secondary. Rams could do something similar here. They really can. And I don't think it would be weird. So he has the Broncos trading out of pick 30 with the New York Jets. Broncos fans, he ends up talking about Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas, being the pick for him if he had to stick it or pick it. But he imagines Anthony Hill would be available to him early in the second with now the Jets second round pick. Wait, was that? Yeah. Got it. So we have the Jets moving up here for Denzel Boston. So you get Boston to pair him up with Garrett Wilson. I think that's solid. It doesn't cost them a lot to move up. You get another player on that 5th-year option. Can't complain. Pick 31, New England Patriots. Does he go with? Oh, he goes with tackle here. I think he goes with Monroe Freeland, right? Oh, man. I'm trying to get him to have the pick on screen. Am I? Hey, Garrett, dude. Come on. I can't see the picks on screen. I'm pretty sure he goes with Monroe Freeland to the New England Patriots. I sense a little bit of that is moving Will Campbell into left guard. Jared Wilson moves into center. That's what I would think. But Monroe Freeland has experience at both right and left tackle. You want to keep Campbell at left tackle, then Freeland can play right tackle, be the heir apparent to Morgan Moses. But I think the way that Garrett kind of alluded to it, that this pick was to kick Will Campbell into guard. He has the Seahawks. Oh, that's right. He says Brandon Cisse, the corner out of South Carolina. Yeah, that's kind of an easy one to project. Some Seahawks fans don't like it. They don't think they go corner early, even though they took Devon Witherspoon in the top like 5 or 6 picks. So, okay. Seahawks fans also told me last year that they don't value offensive line or offensive interior enough to take one in the first round. Because right after the Senior Bowl, one of my favorite mock spots for Gray Zabel was the Seahawks. And then Seahawks fans that whole draft cycle told me how wrong I was. And then they do it. And then he's great for him. So don't want to hear it, Seahawks fans. Or at least don't want to hear it for the fans that disagree with me. You're allowed to disagree. Disagree with me in the comments section. But that's it for the video. Go ahead. Do that YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later. I'll catch you later too, Garrett.